Welcome back to the Align podcast, where we have conversations about personal development, business, and building a better life for yourself and everybody around you. My name is Lee Lawton, and as always, I'm joined by my awesome co-host, Tom Waller. How is your morning today, Tom?
My morning is going greatly. Thank you very much for that setup. Drama does not need to come into today's show. It's in everybody's life, and I hate drama. So I'm really good, thank you, mate. It's great to be here again. Some awesome feedback from the show, which I'm so excited to see it growing. And it's nice that we started in the niche of the profession that we both serve at the moment, chiropractic. But we're getting some great feedback. There's people in the gym starting to listen to the show, coming up to me and mentioning it. And you've had similar. If people can just keep sharing it, we really are starting to get some traction. And we're here every single week because we want to help other people get better. So
for sure,
if people can keep doing that, it's great.
Yeah, it's awesome to see the numbers growing every week. And just keep sharing the show, keep leaving reviews if you can. We really appreciate it. So what we're going to talk about today, mate? How are we going to help people today?
Today, we're answering the question that comes up quite regularly is how are we dealing with negative people? Oftentimes when we want to make a change or we want to do something different, we move into this positive way of life and negative people keep showing up. So it's how do people deal with the negativity? How do people deal with negative people in their life? What's the significance of having negative people in your life, and how we've both dealt with it? Because I know we both have been through it. I joke a lot, and it's not even a joke. I can count my friends on half the fingers on my hand, because I don't have many. I was interested. I was listening to something this morning. Actually, it was a great interview Ed Milet was doing. He was talking about the person said you have 3 blocks of 8 hours in a day. You have 8 hours to work, 8 hours with your family, and 8 hours to sleep. Whatever stage you're in your life, you'll take from one of those to build one up. So, for instance, you might take from sleep to improve the work hours. You might take from family to improve the sleep hours. And they were both mentioning that the biggest thing that tends to get sacrificed is because people like you and I and people who are listening to this on this journey, they really want to make a success out of their business and their life. Mm-hmm. Family is very important to them, and sleep is a priority. So the thing that tends to get sacrificed is friends and friendships. But then is that a sacrifice, I suppose, is the question when we're thinking about historic friendships. And this might be a bit of pill to swallow because I know some people who are acquaintances of mine might be listening to the show who have been good friends of mine in the past. Yeah,
and the same with me. But for me, it's something that you need to remember. It's not personal. It's not anything against the people. It's just that you have to distribute your energy efficiently. So if you're distributing energy in the wrong places, like for example, recently I've stopped hanging around with multiple different friend groups because I was very social and I would be going out all the time, and it was always me that would drive there or me that would go and see them, and it was taking up so much time. And then last year when I really decided to get serious on a lot of things, I had to make the decision to stop seeing certain people. And it's nothing that they'd done necessarily. So it wasn't that they were super negative. It was just the way that they spent their time was negative in comparison to how I wanted to spend my time and moving forward and what my priorities were. So, this might ruffle some feathers indeed, but it is a topic that needs to be covered, and it is a topic that people need to hear about, I think. So
I think with that one as well, like, why do people get offended when you don't want to spend time with them? Is it because they're not comfortable in their own skin? And I think that's where you move into, like, when you decide who you're going to be with, or are you actually going to be spending a bit more time on your own, you have to be quite comfortable in you, and you have to be doing the work on you, which is not easy. And oftentimes, we talk often about numbing life or numbing situations with things like alcohol or TV and stuff like that. But we do often numb a lot of things with social engagements as well. We just go and have meetups and talk about shit. And I hate small talk, dude.
Yeah.
Like, I do a lot of it in practice because there's a lot of quick interactions with people. Yeah. But with friendship groups or like we spoke about social situations on the recent podcast. Yeah. And I think a lot of that is just, I have time for small talk.
But a lot of the times what you find is if these people, if they are somebody who you're thinking your time would be better spent doing something else and working towards your goals and things like that, probably those negative actions and behaviors are correlated with those friend groups. So you might go out and you might drink with certain groups of friends, and then the next 2 or 3 days you feel like shit, so you can't get the work done that you need to get done, or you're not getting up early in the morning because you've had a drink the night before or smoked a joint the night before or anything like that. So those things can affect you in more than just that one situation. So,
and you realize the people who are worth hanging around with are the ones who you can see very infrequently, have a great time with, and cheerlead you on.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my best man, like, he won't listen to podcasts, not his thing, but we meet up very infrequently, but we get on like a house on fire. We're always cheering each other to what we want to achieve and do in the future. We nearly created a property company together, but we had an honest conversation. We were almost about to incorporate it, and then we had an honest conversation and say, actually, no, this isn't going to work. But that's the kind of people you want to be with. They want to challenge you, help you grow, not have self-serving interests, have selfless interests to help each other out. And they're the kind of people you want to find. And I think the difficulty comes, like, there's this thing in personal development where it's like, all those great people are out there, find those people who are inspired like you and help you on that journey. I've found that to be very difficult to find those people and those associations.
Especially around here.
We're both parts of groups that are international groups that have those people within, but they're not like the close people. And selfishly, doing this every week is my way of doing that. It's a brilliant way of doing that.
We're building a community of like-minded people.
Well, it's exactly what we aim to build here.
Yeah.
And I think it's worth us mentioning. Like we want to build a community with this podcast of like-minded people who really want to take control of their life and take it to the next level.
Yeah.
If you've got any experiences, because I think I've got some as well, like what is the impact of having negative people in your life? Why should we try and get rid or reduce our time with people who we might like, but they are negative?
Yeah, so first of all, you can't do everything. So you literally don't have time to do everything. So whether it's the negativity or not, sometimes you just have to make choices of where you're going to spend your energy. But negativity, if there is negativity, then it drains from all areas of your life. Like I said, if you've got negative impacts coming in. So I believe that your thoughts and the things that you think and say and speak into the world are the things that you attract in life. So law of attraction, quantum physics, all that kind of thing. So if you're surrounding yourself with negativity and people, you're hearing people and they're gossiping or they're saying, oh, you don't want to be doing that, or all these negative things going into your mind, all that's doing is attracting more negativity into your life. So you have to try and boost that positivity and those positive thoughts whenever you can. And if someone else is that input of negativity, then they're going to have to go. It's
really true. And that science in it is that reticular activating system in the brain, that thing that looks out for the thing that you are thinking about. So for instance, and this is the example used over and over again, if you start thinking about a yellow car, you see yellow cars everywhere, and you're like, well, I never realized everywhere there's so many yellow cars.
Yeah.
And it's because that part of your brain is on the lookout for it because you've thought about it. Now, if you're constantly surrounding yourself with people who gossip and negative, your brain is now looking for the negative situations in life. Same thing if you watch the news or listen to the news. You're looking for the negativities in life as opposed to the opportunities and the positivities. And I think one of the biggest things that law of attraction and focusing on the positives has is that if we're focusing on the positive, we're focusing on our goals, we're focusing on where we want to go, our mind subconsciously is going to be looking for those opportunities to take advantage of and run with and create some kind of success.
Yeah, definitely.
So where have you had some negative people in your life or situations that you've noticed that have caused a problem and then maybe stopped it and noticed a difference?
Multiple times in life. I've been through groups of friends throughout life. So I can think of 4 main friendship groups, maybe even 5 main friendship groups where they've been doing negative things and actions, and they've had negative habits, and then I've moved on and gone to another group. And this is a hard truth of personal growth. You are going to outgrow some people.
Mm-hmm.
And when you're from a small town, and over the years I've done this personal development and this growth, and you do grow beyond certain groups of people, and that's okay. But yeah, mostly, I mean, I've experienced it a little bit in family, but mostly in friends.
I think I see it a lot in family, but we spoke about that inverse relationship with wanting the negativity, but it being damaging. For instance, like the negativity I find with families is a polar opposite opinion on health and the way we should focus and look after our bodies, to the point where we don't discuss that as a family. Yeah. And if we do, it becomes a big negative impact and then affects the relationship within the family. I would say when I was early in my career, I was hanging around with people who I kind of went to school with, associations still in the same town. We'd always go out on Friday and Saturday night, spend an absolute fortune out drinking, waking up the next day regretting what we'd done and all this kind of stuff. And there are those guys who are still doing it. I won't put myself in that situation because I know like most people who are successful have an addictive personality. Mm-hmm. I have to guard where I go because I could easily fall into that.
Yeah, you have to make sure you're addicted to the right things.
Exactly, it's 100% true.
Yeah, it is, yeah.
I'm addicted now to helping other people achieve great success, growing my business, and my personal well-being. But if I slip into that, I slip into the Jack the Lad, addicted to being the centre of attention, and then it spirals.
It's easily done, yeah.
It's easily done.
Yeah.
And that's why you have to guard it so tightly.
Yeah.
And it's not easy to do.
No. There's the famous Jim Rohn saying, the quote, "You are the average of the 5 people you spend most time with." And everybody's said this, but I believe it was Jim Rohn who said it first. And it's true. Like, if you are trying to be successful and you're listening to this podcast, then likelihood is you're trying to build something. Then look around you. Look at the 5 people you spend most of your time with. Look at their bank account. Is that where you want to be? Look at their level of health. Is that what you want? Look at their habits. Is that what you want your habits to be like? Because I can't remember, is it Ryan Paynter or someone says, show me your friend group and I will show you your future. And it's like so true. So you need to make a decision. Is this what you want? Are the 5 people you spend most of your time with what you want to be like? Or do you want to make a change and make some difficult decisions to move out of that?
It's really true. And like everything comes down to it. You look at your friends group, it's not just the negativity, positivity. It's like you say, it's their level of fitness. Yeah. It's their bank accounts. It's what they do in their spare time. Everything. Because groups of people, they're all like each other.
Yeah.
And if you want to break that, it's difficult. Where do you start? Where did we start? Probably absorbing content like this and thinking, actually, I'm going to surround myself by people who I might not be in front of, but I can listen to.
Yeah, that's where it started for me. Just becoming good friends with podcast hosts that never met me, that I've never met. Like I speak about Andy Frisella in the first person, and talk about him just like Andy. Oh yeah, Andy says me, and you say Andy says this, Andy says that, or Ed says this, Ed says that, and that's because we spend so much time listening to them and learning from them. And the 5 people who you spend most of your time with don't necessarily have to be physically for a start.
They don't, and both you and I am part of their their coaching group. Arate, you're part of Wes's group.
Yeah.
To close in those associations, I find it with work, and I think work's a place where a lot of people will struggle with this.
Yeah.
So I will only hire people who are positive, and they know they cannot gossip in the practice.
No.
Gossip is not welcome in the practice whatsoever.
No.
So if you're in a company, you're working, you want to get out of it, and you're surrounded by negative people, on that lunch break when everyone starts gossiping, leave them, get your headphones in, go for a walk, do something that builds you up.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you are just going to fall into that gossip and negativity and never be able to break out of that cycle.
You've got to make a decision of solitude sometimes. That's what it was for me. I didn't just get rid of a load of friends and just go and be friends with a load of new people. I went into solitude and was like, right, I need some time on me. And that's okay. Like, if you need to take time on yourself and remove some people from your life to focus on you, that's okay. I don't know, this might come across as selfish, but you are the most important person in your life, and you need to do what's right for you and your goals and your dreams and your life and your loved ones. And if that means removing some people, then that's what it means.
I mean, it's so true. So Ayn Rand she said, take care of me for you and take care of you for me. You have to selfishly take care of yourself first. Yeah. There's only one situation that you might put the other person first, and that is in front of a bullet. Like that's it. But everything else, you have to selfishly put yourself first so you can then serve others better. I said it earlier, I make a joke about it all the time. My team laugh at me, but they also probably feel sorry for me. I literally have like you and then 2 other people that I'll speak to.
Yeah.
And that's it.
Yeah.
And it's like, well, you're not got no friends? Well, you know, that might grow over time, but at this moment in time, I have not found people who are on the same path, and therefore I don't want to spend time with them.
Yeah, and it's all just where your focus is. Like, you're building something. You've got family, your family.
Yeah.
You've got your practice and your business, and it's what you're building. And your friends are not always going to understand this. Like, I have friends who have stopped talking to me.
Yeah.
Just because I've said I need to spend some time on myself. You might even be doing it for them. You might be going inwards so that you can create something that helps the people around you, and they still won't understand. So
what if someone says to you, Lee, there's more to life. There's more to life than this. You just go and hang out with your friends. Like, there's more to life. Chill out, relax.
There is more to life, and that's what I'm going for.
I'm glad you said it that way. But it's so true.
Yeah.
And like you were just saying, like I was looking at myself before, thinking I looked like a mess before the show, and I looked at myself and I was like, God, I look old. And then you're like, Tom, we're young. And we are.
We are.
Young. And there's so much more time to enjoy that.
Yeah.
But that thing like, oh, there's more to life and enjoy it. People don't see the actual enjoyment in the process.
No.
So one of the biggest causes, by example, of postnatal depression, so depression after a mother gives birth, is, and even it can happen paternally, is this build-up that the birth is going to be such an amazing experience, and then it doesn't live up to what it was. Whereas if we'd enjoyed the journey, we would have had more fulfillment along the long run and avoided the depression at the short term.
Yeah. So
enjoying those moments and asking yourself in those negative situations with those negative people, are you enjoying the moment? Or are you just doing it because that's what we do on a Saturday night?
That's what you've done for years, yeah. And it's just a lot of it's escapism, I think. So you go there to drink or smoke or whatever it is to escape the things that you know you should be doing, or to escape the reality of where you are and where you need to be in that gap.
Yeah.
It's a lot of it's escapism, or at least it was for me.
I suppose a simple question is like, for people to think about in this is, what activity or action, when you do it, gives you more energy at the end than when you started? So what activity or thing, when you do it, even if you don't feel like doing it at the start, when you've finished, gives you more energy than when you started? So for me, it's teaching. Yeah. Nothing more than getting on a stage and teaching and helping other people. So much so that I'll come home from a 14-hour day at the office, at the practice, and I'll have to go and teach a webinar for 2 hours, at like 8, 9 o'clock at night. I come off that call buzzing with energy because I know that's what I love to do. Yeah. So I love to do the work, but if I go to a social situation at 8, 9 o'clock at night after work, I will be drained afterwards. Yeah. So I know what gives me more energy. I like to know what gives you more.
The gym gives me the most energy. So when I come out of the gym, I've got more energy than ever. So, and Casey Neistat, a vlogger on YouTube, he has a theory that exercise is like a replacement for sleep. I know it's not, but if he gets short on sleep and he's feeling tired, he'll go and exercise, and he runs like 15, 20 miles a day. Yeah. He runs a lot. And he's done a video on it where he believes that, and this is just his beliefs, but that exercise sort of adds to the lack of sleep that he had and allows him to go through the day, and he does so much. So I don't know, he looks pretty tired a lot of the time,
but it is something that gives you that energy.
It does give me more energy. Yeah, so that definitely is one thing.
And doing the podcast,
obviously.
It's true though. Like I come in today like a bit like it's wound up, but now I'm just buzzing. I'm much better.
That is true. Yeah.
And this poor service lady I spoke to earlier is going to get a nice phone call later saying, I'm sorry, I was an arse this morning.
But personal development, anything that's moving you closer towards your goal, and or for me at least, anything that's moving me closer towards my goal and making me better makes me happier.
Yeah, absolutely.
Shall we leave that there? I
yeah.
think. Is there any final thoughts on that?
I just evaluate your time.
Yeah.
Just think about who are you spending time with. When you finished that social situation or spending that time with people, are you happy?
Yeah.
Like, have you enjoyed that time? Or is there something better that you could be doing?
Yeah. And not just time, but energy.
Yeah.
Evaluate your energy. Not what gives you energy, but also what takes your energy away. And we're human beings. We only have so much energy. And you cannot do everything. You can't give everybody your energy and still put all of your energy into something that you're trying to achieve. So just decide where you spend your energy.
So spend your energy on the podcast if you can. Please, once again, subscribe if you're on YouTube. Leave us a 5-star review on iTunes. Is the best place to do that. Is that right?
Yeah. If you could write a short review of what you think of the show on Apple Podcasts, that really helps. But if you can't manage to do that, just a 5-star review on Spotify or Apple Podcasts would be amazing.
And share with your friends. And thank you again for listening. We really appreciate it. We'll see you next time, Lee.
See you next time.